It's Will Shannon here, and I know a little secret that I think a lot of other naturopaths kind of learn in school but they don't use. And one of the reasons I think our clinics have been a lot busier than many others is we do a few little idiosyncronicities different than other people, and one of these is I always begin with oxygen. And what you have to understand is that if you kill circulation to any part of the body for a few seconds, that area dies. In fact, if you have a stroke or a blockage in the blood vessel, within a few seconds those cells are dead. That's because the blood can't bring the oxygen. It's not that it's not bringing coenzyme Q10, or it's not that it's not bringing turmeric, although all these things are really beautiful substances, but the foundation has to be circulation and oxygen. And so oxygen is kind of twinfold. Oxygen is a combination of effective breathing, effective space for the diaphragm, effective number of red blood cells, and effective circulation. So what I kind of do in my clinic, if you see me in the clinic, is I teach people how to breathe. I give them muscular actions to free up around the lungs so that that rib cage can spring properly and the lungs can strengthen like a balloon and the diaphragm strong enough to innervate that action. I give them green powder. I call my green powder superfoods. And the superfoods, with all the chlorophyll as the foundation in these things, these green powder build the red blood cells. The red blood cell can carry the oxygen. In fact, if you ever heard of Lance Armstrong and some of these other famous cyclists, when they were using legal drugs or illegal drugs, what these drugs were trying to do is basically blood dope. They were trying to increase their red blood cells so they could carry more oxygen, so they could work harder. So we're trying to build the red blood cell. Now, Western medicine teaches that your red blood cell is made in the bone marrow. Okay, this came from a study of starving pigeons in 1952. A lot of people in natural health teach that it's actually made in the crypts of the small intestine, which seems a bit more logical, doesn't it? That it's assimilated in your digestive tract. So I just want you to know that we're going to cover some of these things, but when it comes to oxygen, by the end of this module, you'll be effectively breathing. I will have shown you some things just to unlock the connective tissue so the rib cage and the lungs can move. I'm going to show you some green powders you can take to build the red blood cell. We're also going to be doing some circulation herbs to just gently move the blood around. The other thing is when you need a specific part of your body to heal, which we're going to go through in future tapes, we're going to be using a combination of hot and cold packs and herbs to drive fluids in and out of there. Because as an example, if I work with an athlete and they have a knee injury or an ankle injury, I'll give them exercises, but juicing celery and things is a great start to build those joints, but we've got to start telling the body, hey, take the blood and the nutrients to this part of the body. So oxygen is where it begins. You'll see the threefold: breathing, building the red blood cells through greens, and then circulating those red blood cells in the oxygen. Three-step pathway to oxygen: breathing, greens to build the red blood cells, because the red blood cell carries the oxygen. So they're the actual transport system. So oxygen in, transported through the red blood cell, and then the circulatory herbs and circulation system needs to be pumping those red blood cells around to parts of the body, and then later we'll pump the blood to your specific weak parts of the body.